Hey, Tim Sykes here, and I just wanted to do a quick 3-week review of September 2016. It's been somewhat of a tough market, much more difficult than we've saw in June, July, August, and a lot of people are having trouble adapting. I want you to just look at my trades because I've had a lot going on. I'm traveling all over the place. I gave a conference. My voice is like just dying. I'm overworked and I'm trying to adapt. And I've actually been pretty successful in September, although not in the way that most people think. So here's my overall profit chart. This is on timothysykes.com. You should be reading all of my blog posts, by the way. And I actually have to write a blog post how you have until October 1st to watch my free Trader Checklist DVD. So I'm not going to tell you what happens on October 1st. Something's going to happen, but I will just say you have a little over a week to watch the 11-hour, 100% free Trader Checklist guide. Do it. I will tell you on October 1st why, but please, please, please meet this deadline. But other than that, I want to talk about this. These are my trades, and you can see my profit chart. I've made, nearly 10,000 or a little over 10,000 in the past month. And yet, if you look at all of my trades, and I'm counting the number of trades here, there's actually 19 trades here. 8 of them are losses. So I'm losing on nearly 50% of my trades, which is more than normal. Normally I lose on like 30% of my trades. So I blame the overall stock market. I blame my schedule. I blame myself. And I don't care if I lose 30, 40, 50% of the time, because if you look at my losses, I have done an extraordinary job of cutting losses quickly. Now, this is something that you guys have to get used to. In yesterday's video, I went on a rant saying safety, 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 safety. My dog is looking at me like I'm crazy. But it's true. Safety first. And the reason why I'm even making this video lesson, because I just got inspired by my own trades. Look at these losses. Even though I'm losing on nearly 50% of my trades where I am wrong, and even on some of the trades where I have small gains, I'm not necessarily right in thinking that they're going to be big wins. But if you look at the losses specifically, I'm losing a negative 157 bucks here. I'm losing 7 cents on like a $4 or $5 stock. Here I'm losing 9 cents on a $4 or $5 stock. Again, a loss of under 200. Here I'm losing 8 cents on a $12 stock, loss of 88 bucks. This was during a live webinar. For challenge students, MGT, I lost 3 cents. This was also on that live webinar. Here I lose 7 cents on CHK. And, I wasn't really even expecting that big things because it's a multi-billion-dollar energy company, so I knew it wasn't in my sweet spot. But I lost 70 bucks. NYMX here. This was a scary stock. It moved really fast. I actually probably could have done a little better if I didn't double up, but I lost $213. So what? Here on CRBP, I cut losses. I lost 13 bucks. Boo-hoo. And then SKLN, which was yesterday morning, and I lost 172 bucks, and I made a live video about that. All of these losses, okay, one of them is over 200 bucks, but the rest of them are like 170, 13, 70 bucks, 80 bucks. And look at my gains. Sure, I have a few $100 gains, but then I also have a $1,500 gain. This $600 gain was live during my conference. I absolutely nailed this ISNS. I held this for a month. This was in my long-term portfolio. SKLN, I held this for a day, making nearly $1,400. And then SORL, I had my overnight short yesterday, covered some same day, so it wasn't a totally perfect trade, but I'm making $1,300. So I want you to look at this and compare it to your own trades. And I want you posting your trades publicly on Profitly so that I can review them. And it'll help me see what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong, what you could be doing better. And for me, even with my crazy schedule, even with my crazy life right now, I'm having several big gains. THLD, this was a perfect over the weekend gain of over 2,000 bucks. And it actually hit a buck 48 that next morning, so I didn't time it perfectly. MGT was a nice win, and I didn't time it perfectly. This actually got up to the low fours, not once, not twice, but three times. I had three chances and I didn't catch the top on any of them. So none of this is perfect by any means, but I want you to see my mindset and I want you to see how to grow your account even if you're wrong in a choppy market like I have been and like I know a lot of other people. The difference between me and a lot of other people who are wrong, 40, 50% of the time is that they're letting their losses run. They're hoping that the stock can come back, and sometimes it does, and they're learning the wrong lesson. For me, oftentimes I could, I could have gotten back in. I was right to, take the trade in the first place. But I don't care what the stock does once I am out. I was wrong on my timing. I was wrong in my thesis, so I get out. I cut my losses. In September, I have done a fantastic job with this. Really, all of 2016, I haven't had the big losses that I've had in years past, and I know Tim Grattani, who spoke at my annual conference, said the exact same thing, and he had a nice slide on his presentation that showed this was his first year without big losses. So we're really just clamping down on big losses. Our gains are bigger than our losses, and this is something that I think that all of you guys should strive for. Whether you're trading with a small account, I mean, it's obviously going to be different depending on your account size and experience level, but please, please, please learn from this. And I want to see your losses, being 1/10 the size of some of your biggest gains month in, month out. I don't have any $1,000 losses, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 $1,000 plus profits. I don't even have a $500 loss, not even a $400 or a $300 loss. So my profits are, this $2,000 profit. This is 10 times the size of any of my losses. This one trade could, wipe out all of my losses for the month. Let's do the math. Let's just exaggerate here. So this is a loss of 200, another loss of 200. So we'll say this is negative 400. This is 100, negative 500. This is we'll say it's a $200 loss. So we're at negative 700. We'll say this is a $100 loss. So that's negative 800. We'll say this is $200 loss. So we're at negative 1,000. And then this 172 and 13. So all of my losses are $1,200 combined. And this one trade, or this one trade, or this one trade, or this one trade, or this one trade takes over all of the losses and more. And this is what successful traders do. If you just kind of glaze your eyes over and you just see green and red, you're just like, oh, God, Tim sucks. He's wrong half the time. Green, red, green, red, green, red. But if you dig into it and you look at the numbers the way that I'm telling you to, there is something actually solid going on here where my gains are much bigger than my losses. And this is why I'm so proud of this profit chart over the past month in a difficult, choppy market. So we will have difficult, choppy markets sometimes. You can't always expect there to be a June, July type or August type Cinderella market where there's, 10, 20 morning spikers every day and you buy whatever junk is spiking. Now we see a lot of these morning spikers turning into morning failures. So you have to adapt a little. Welcome to the stock market. Welcome to trading. You can never get too comfortable with any one pattern. And this is why 90% of traders lose, because you have to adapt. But even if you do lose, if you follow my rule number 1 and you cut losses quickly, it is very difficult not to grow your account. It is very difficult, though, to grow your account if you break rule number 1. And even if you are right in holding and the stock comes back, you have lost your discipline. You have lost this kind of potential for your trades and your track record to look like this, where you're controlling every single loss. I don't mind being wrong. I'm not proud of it. I don't look to be wrong, but it happens. And when it happens, I stay disciplined and I stay true to my strategy that has been working now for the past 2 decades. And I hope that I can pass this down to you. So please leave a comment. Let me know if you understand what I'm saying. I try to get this out, but I understand that trading is kind of weird and some of these rules are very counterintuitive. But for me, this is a great example of why I cut losses quickly, and this is why I love trading, and I love penny stocks. Even though the world hates on it, the world hates on penny stocks and trading, if you cut your losses quickly, it can be beautiful. Thank you, Tim Sykes. Goodbye.
My name is Tim Sykes, and I teach people to trade stocks. I am a self-made multimillionaire.
So this is the ideal trade that I'm going to talk about. I want you guys to understand every single aspect of this trade.